last, I will give the floor to Mr. Joe Dickinson. Allow me to make an introduction. We've been exchanging emails, and I'm glad that now we are able to meet in person. You live far, in a place I didn't know, to be honest. And you will tell us a little bit more about this, where you're located. And I wanted also to say that, okay, we are talking about digitalization and automation and new technologies, but we never have to forget the human factor, because Postman is the face of our companies. And you're about to present us a community service, which was awarded, I think, in 2014. And that disrupts the norm. So the floor is yours. Welcome. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation today.
My pleasure, Aphrodite. Yeah, so Jersey is a small island between England and France.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a good testing bed. So really what I want to share with you is where we came from, where we are, and where we're going. And I'll do it very quickly in case the link goes down.
Okay. Do you want me to share your screen?
Yeah. So if I can have the first slide. Okay. So it's 2012. We started, like every postal operator in the world, conventional letterpost was disappearing, and it was all going over to boxes. And the question is, was there any way that we could use the unique infrastructure of the Postal Service as the last service provider that can visit every house every day if it needed to? So what could we use that for? And especially, what could we use it as a revenue stream, but also to help our community? When we started to develop Call&Check, we realised very quickly it was two parts. The first part was the visit at the door that the postman carried out, which was key. But at the back end of that, and connected to that, was a hub service to connect messages collected by the postman into the community and into organisations within the community to help people. So there's two parts, and they're both key to the project. We a year or so that we needed better technology to run the service. So we developed what we called our Call&Check engine, which connected the postal handset to our hub section, which collected the data and connected to other organisations. It became, it has become a key part of the island's structure for supporting the ageing demographic. The one thing that every country has is a postal operator and an ageing demographic. And the ageing demographic is becoming a huge problem, both for the social and for the health services. And all the health services, the models that everybody's coming out with, are based around supporting people in their own home for as long as possible. So the postal operator with his infrastructure is perfectly placed for doing that. Can I go to the next slide, please? Thank you. So this is a brief how the Call&Check system works. So everybody on the Call&Check system needs to register. They have to fill in forms, especially with the Data Protection Acts and everything else that goes on. So, and people register, and people who are recommended to register can be family members, they can be the individuals themselves, they can be social workers, they can be medical people. They fill in a very simple form. They can do it online, or they can get a piece of paper, or in our particular case, we have somebody who goes round and enrolls them onto the system. During the visit of the person enrolling onto the system, the person is given an explanation of what will happen on the visit, what the visit is and what it's not. That's key, because we want people to understand what the postal visit is all about. It is also key from a commercial point of view that the structure of the visit. So it's got to be done on the normal postal round. You don't want a special infrastructure of postal people visiting. It's got to be done by the regular posting. So it's got to be structured in a way that can happen. It has a certain length of time of the visit on average. Again, this is to be cost effective. I work with other countries who've done it, and they have different models. And when I look at the cost effectiveness, I can't see how they can make money at it. So it's key that the structure of the visit is a certain way. During the visit the Call&Check does, the postman with his handset will ask 5 questions of the person. And he asks those questions on every visit. And it's to do with the well-being and also needs that they may have that week. These details are recorded. They're recorded through the handset to the hub. If the person requires help in certain areas, that will be taken up by the hub and then transmitted to other organisations to help the person. So it's a really connecting service inside the community. One of the things that we learned that in the UK, for instance, there are 9 million carers. So these are family people looking after the members of the family. Huge amount. In Pro Rata in Jersey, we have a similar number. So what we found to the Call&Check is helps the carer as much as the person who's being cared for. So that was a real eye-opener to us. And in the community, the carers, and in some cases, the visit isn't just for the person, it's actually for the carer as well, because a lot of carers can be isolated. And so the only visit they get is when the postie knocks on the door and asks the questions. So it connects the whole community. So it's a very simple service, delivered simply, but it gets slightly more sophisticated as we go on. So next slide, please. The area that we wanted that we at the beginning was looking at was a revenue stream for the postal service. And so we were looking at the silver economy. And so the silver economy covers this over 65-year-olds and all the various spend that they have, be it housing, leisure, the caring facilities, all the other things. And that's a huge market. In the case of the percentage of the population that we're now getting, by 2050, we're going to have something like 29% of our population will be over 65. And that's really all throughout Europe. But the market itself is huge. So the European silver spend is 3.7 trillion a year. If it was a country economy, it would be third after America and China. So the potential of servicing this sector of the market, especially with the postal infrastructure, is huge. Could I have next slide, please? So who pays for it? So the models that we run, we have two models. We have a model that is a retail model that the family or the person can pay for it. We have a lot of situations where family have left the island, but their mum and dad are still on the island, and they just want to have make sure that they're being checked on. And part of our engine has an app that they can key into. So when when the person has a visit, it will go to the app, so the person living off island can see what's happened on the visit and everything's fine. We always wanted to become government funded, and when we started to do that, I'm sure we've all had the thing about dealing with the government is usually has issues attached to it. You find that you have to report lots of things if you want government money. So we have structures in place that measure outcomes of visits. So to a level that the government, particularly in Jersey, felt comfortable that they would pay for it. They could see the benefits it was bringing. And if anybody was really doing this and they want it to be commercially viable, we think it's going to be a mixture of the retail market and the government-funded market. Next one, please. So where are we going service-wise? So the Call&Check is the foot in the door. That's what we call it. And it opens the opportunities for lots of other things that we could do to support people. During the COVID, we supported on the island people going into COVID into isolation. They've put those people onto the Call&Check system so they keep connected. We delivered all the medications for the island during the COVID shutdown. And there are other ranges of services that we're developing with technology. And one of them is quite exciting, which will mean that the postman during his visit with a piece of technology can take some medical readings with the press of a button. All these are chargeable things that we're building into the service. All of them have revenue streams attached to them. Next one. So really, it's to summarize. So Call&Check is a very scalable service. It's all about, as you were saying before, it's all about the post. Somebody sees something and being able to chat with them, who they relate to, who they feel comfortable with. And that's what the postal service and the postman gives to them. And if you add technology to that, it's a great service that we can evolve for our community. And the last one is the thing that a little saying that we came up with, and it's very true, is we're not carers, but we care. We're not meant to be carers, but we are supporters, and we are putting things in place which support the community. And from a business point of view, it's a huge potential market for us to develop, especially as more technology comes along. So that's my summation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Antonino, I don't know if you want to comment.
Well, I want just to congratulate because it's really a very interesting idea. And it's like in the Post Europe family. We have also Jersey Post is one of our members, and we had a beautiful plenary. Unfortunately, for personal reason, I was not there. But it's really an idea, like again, that from the small postal operator or can be extended to all the biggest ones. So Really, I want to, more than the comment is just to congratulate with Mr. Dickinson for this very interesting presentation. And again, this could be also a good presentation for our innovation forum too. But this I let to Hellenic Post to decide.
They were awarded since 2014. I think you received the World Mail Award, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
the interesting thing that we did trials with Royal Mail, and we finished those last year and they were successful. So we're going to build new trials with Royal Mail. So they're going to bring that more into the UK. But it's exactly, when you add some of the technology that's coming, it doesn't need expertise to use it, but perhaps an hour's training. But it can collect information that can be passed back to various bodies, but that we can charge for. So on a visit, we could have 2 or 3 chargeable things that we could make revenue at. So potentially, there's a lot of business there for us.
And as you said, it's a service that connects the whole community, and it's at the same time a new revenue stream for the Post, but also it's a service that fights isolation and loneliness, which is really critical, especially in the period we are living.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I always say about this, if I could tell you about a potential business that's going to double in the next 25 years, and it's going to be huge, wouldn't you want to create businesses to service it? And we know these numbers are going to happen, and we know where they are, and we are already there. So why don't, that we should be doing this?
I have one last question for you, because I think it's also a matter of mentality. Maybe in Jersey Post, you had the mentality, the community had the mentality to be involved in something like that. Did you face, what were the barriers, actually the difficulties you faced, if any, when developing this service?
So 2 things. People sort of say, do you have trouble with the postman? Because he doesn't want to be doing this. He delivers letters and boxes. Why is he doing this? If I talk to postmen, they will go, we've always done this. We always help people. And I said, that's absolutely true. The difference, what we've done is connected to us into a service. And it's measured, and we've got technology in it. And and the other interesting fact, the unions in Royal Mail recently put a report in December that said that they wanted to do Call&Check. So they went to the management and said they would like to do Call&Check. So that's a great thing. But yeah, it's a mindset. The Postal Service is very innovative. The speakers you've been listening to is we're looking for new ways all the time, and all this is a new area. And I'm sure once more people put their thoughts to it, there's so much we could do with this huge amount of people living in homes, growing older, needing more services applied to them, and we've got the infrastructure. We've got the infrastructure to support them.
So you are acting like a hub, I think, for the whole community, bringing every factor together. And congratulations, because as you said, it's a simple idea. The people are already there. Someone had to think of it. You invented this. Yeah. And I think you are offering a social service and highlighting again the social role that Post have to play. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
And if I may share with anyone interested, because I can share your email if we have any questions or if someone wants to learn more about the service. Can we? Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I'm really happy that we finally met in person. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.